Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by Houston Housewives of Finance. For more information on increasing your cash flow, becoming your own money manager, and to schedule your complimentary personal finance strategy, contact the Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789. 3 Hues Painting Studio. Come paint, sip, and party at 3 Hues. Visit our website today at 3hueshouston.com.
Welcome back to another episode of Intermission. I'm one of your hosts, Howard Jerome Edwards. You can find me on Instagram at Howard_Jerome. You can find me on Facebook at Howard Jerome. I just got to stand up real quick because this is a special time right now. It's the holiday weekend. It's 4th of July. And, in honor of the birth of America, the most freedom shirt you'll ever see. There we go. Go ahead. Yeah. Uncle Sam's holding the best animal in the world, the bald eagle. There we go. America. I got, with me my always standard co-host, Ziggy Numbnuts. I'm just playing. We got my boy Marcus Griffin here. Over here, one of the hosts over at Fish and Grits.
Family reunion.
Yep.
Yeah.
That shit says Detroit, dog.
But it's my family reunion shirt.
Man, get the fuck out of here.
Hey,
with that.
represent for the Griffins.
So just so y'all know, this is my boy Marcus. He's always tuning in to Facebook Live. Me and this dude have known each other since, middle school?
Yeah, 8th grade.
Yeah.
I remember you came in stealing all the ladies. So I was like, hey, I hate this guy.
Yeah, well.
He's
Kanye
out.
shrug, buddy.
What could you do?
But yeah, man. So hey, I'm happy that you decided to come on here today.
I appreciate it.
Hell
Appreciate
yeah.
it. Appreciate it.
Shout out to my boy G Hawkins over there. Obviously, our buddy, Ziggy Numbnuts is on another adventure with Bryan Singer and Zack Snyder today. Apparently, they did not collect all the Infinity Stones last week. So, well, good luck with that, man. I know they're having a great time eating popcorn and making s'mores.
Hey, man. I don't think you want to hang out with Bryan Singer, but hey.
Dude, I don't either. But for some reason, as we all know, Ziggy loves Bryan Singer.
I don't know
and
why.
all the work he's done. So
I haven't forgiven him for Superman Returns. I don't care how many X-Men movies he wants to crank out.
Yeah, but fuck it. So today we got a special episode, y'all. We're gonna actually discuss aliens today, and all the aliens in different movies that we've seen over the years. Actually, just to give you all some background, the inspiration came from a Facebook post I put on there. For some reason, everybody's been obsessed with aliens the last 2 weeks. I know all this shit with NASA talking about they found some more Earth-like planets and all that. So, but
if they're obsessed with aliens, then why didn't they check out the new Alien movie?
Well,
franchise low in box office.
I'm just saying it's that movie's been the same movie since it first came out.
But it's the prequel.
Yeah. I don't know. We've seen Prometheus, man. Prometheus was okay. Concept was all right, but it's the same thing that keeps happening with all these other terrible franchise movies like Transformers. The plot just falls off completely. So, and you try to rewrite things and change history on it. It doesn't work.
Me personally, I'm not a fan of the Aliens franchise. I don't get nothing out of the movies. They look cool, entertaining.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand why they keep trying to bring this and reinvent this and wouldn't you say Terminator things or these Rambo, these franchises you should just let die off and just let Transformers needs to die off, Pirates needs to die off.
Well, we already know that's what's going on, but since we're on the topic of aliens and everything, give me some when you hear someone discussing about movies that involve aliens, what are some of the ones that come to mind and what stands out with you about them? And he's laughing because we've already had a debate about this, and we're gonna get into that in a second too. But he's got some interesting alien movies that he likes.
I got a little list,
Okay.
It stands out, my list, not the weird looking one. So I have Lilo and Stitch for the kids.
Oh, that's cute. Aww.
Power Rangers, take it old school because they are aliens that take over the human bodies.
Yeah.
You want it?
Wait, take over the human bodies.
I mean, well, if they morph, what do you want to call that? They
that's just a suit of armor. See, this is what I knew this conversation would get interesting.
It's still an alien.
Yeah, there's aliens in the movie, but they got body armor, dog. The aliens is Rita and her fucking monsters.
So what is
and
the new
Zordon?
Zordon's an alien.
Yeah, he's an alien. The body armor is just body armor, dog.
It's alien technology over them. So
yeah, but they ain't no aliens.
So what do you call a cyborg?
Cyborg?
Do you call him an alien
so
or a
Cyborg
robot?
Is not an alien, dog.
Oh, what?
No. Cyborg is a human being who, because of the mother box that came from Apocalypse, or it might have actually come from New Genesis. I don't know which one. I forgot which one.
Right
but
there.
I mean, either one, they got the same technology. He's a human who has integrated alien parts in him, but he's still a human being, though. His DNA is still 46 chromosomes.
I mean, but you still have to give him the alien card because he
no.
Okay, so
he's an augmented human being with alien technology.
What?
Is Green Lantern an alien?
Yes.
No, the fuck.
I would
not.
consider
He's
him
a
one when he's
human
in
being with alien technology.
When he
dog.
So
Men in Black. Men in Black. When they're using all this alien technology, are they aliens?
Oh, I don't want to be mean. That's the thing about this.
They're humans with alien technology.
But listen, if you say cyborg is the alien technology and infused with his body, and most of his body is what of the alien technology, you don't see too much of his human form.
Okay, so let's take it back then. All right. So if you had a robotic arm, are you now a robot?
Yes. Will Smith was a robot. In iRobot, he was a robot.
No, he was not a robot. He had a robotic arm. He's not a robot.
I gave him a robot card. You're no longer human.
Oh my God!
You dipped in the pool. There's no coming back.
So all right, so you subscribe to that whole idea of the one drop rule. Then you get
no coming back. No coming back.
All right, all right.
No. But then some more. I gotta have Thor. I mean, do you consider him one?
But Thor's definitely an alien.
Okay. Transformers.
Well, yeah, of course. They're all from different planets. They're not just human beings with augmented parts from another.
Yeah. Okay.
From another species.
Ben 10. That's a good one for the kids. District 9, like you got up there.
Now, District 9, I want to pause it for a minute. Now, you know how District 9 even came about, right? It was a short film on YouTube.
No, I remember we went to go see that movie back in the day.
But that movie was fucking crazy. I'm kind of upset that they never made a second
sequel.
part.
Yeah.
But,
it's
that
called
was
Elysium, and that was terrible.
Okay, so... Well, I guess technically in that movie we would be aliens because we're on a different planet. So that'd
like
be
Futurama. Hey, what? Am I blowing your mind with these aliens?
Well, I'm more so considering. So like, if we were on? So let's look at Alien. Okay, in Alien, the movie is called Alien because of the damn the xenomorphs and all that. But technically, aren't we aliens in that movie because we go to Prometheus?
That's an intriguing question.
Got layers,
man.
dog.
You got levels to
layers,
this.
man.
Man, he just
Intermission,
blew your mind.
Intriguing content. There we go.
Hey, that is intriguing.
Hell yeah, that's like some Inception stuff right there, man.
So what about let's talk. What about Iron Giant? Alien.
Yeah, I mean he's an alien in the same sense that Transformers are aliens because their origins come from a different planet. Now, there is one that you still haven't mentioned yet that I really want you to mention because you were so confident when you mentioned it to me.
I did feel confident in it.
All right, people. So look, I called him this morning. I was like, hey, listen, we're gonna go ahead and film. We're filming on Saturday today. Obviously, there's why we're not Facebook Live. So, but he looks at me. Well, he says, "Yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad you guys you finally stop being an asshole and put me on the show." I was like,
exactly.
Well, we debate and stuff. This is like years of history and everything, right? So I was like, so what do you have together? Like, we're talking about aliens and everything. And he was like, yeah, man, I got Power Rangers. I was like, shit, I didn't think about that one. That's a good one. Lilo and Stitch, Men in Black, and then Godzilla. I said, what? He's like, Godzilla. Like, go look at the film credit. He's credited as an alien. I'm still waiting for him to show me that film credit.
Man, I'm still looking for that film credit, but I do feel confident in it may have been, what is that Trump's call it, alternative facts? But in my mind, it is.
I'm just going to say he's an alien because
I'm gonna call it alien
because CNN is fake news.
Exactly. It was reported on the news as an alien. It said, look at this alien stomping on my house.
People make mistakes all the time, though. But
I'll take that ill.
Well, I mean, just think about this. All right, first off, he's a kaiju, okay? Now, Pacific Rim took that and said that these monsters that are coming from a different dimension, which in that movie they're kaiju as well because it's just a giant monster as far as I understand the translation is. However, Godzilla is a mutated dinosaur.
But if you look at the movie credits on the new Godzilla, Pacific Rim, before, man, what is the new Godzilla movie made by? It was by WB, and it broke off with Legendary, and how it broke off from WB. So now Legendary is Pacific Rim, and WB is representing Godzilla. That they were supposed to be connected universe. So if you have those extraterrestrial, if those are kaiju, and he's listed as a kaiju, it would technically mean that he would be linked to that some type of way.
So you've seen Pacific Rim, right?
Yeah.
Does he look like any of those kaiju?
Oh no, he's the good looking one.
Yeah,
he's
so
the good looking one.
From there. But if anything,
so what?
He looks like a damn dinosaur or a giant lizard, which is what he is. Godzilla's the king of the monsters. As a matter of fact, he actually fights aliens that come here, which is what we're going to see in this next movie that he's in, when he's fighting King Ghidorah, the giant moth thing, and I forgot the other
Rodan
one. And Rodan,
like
yeah. But and the thing on it, if you look up, because I was actually reading this, I came with some firepower for you. The whole idea behind Godzilla is that he's a mixture between a Stegosaurus and a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and that's all he is. He's supposed to be a new dinosaur. A Godzillasaurus is actually what they call him. Very creative.
If Godzilla came outside of my window, I would holler that it's an alien.
You're tripping.
I wouldn't say it's a dinosaur.
Shit, it's the dinosaur.
I would say it's an alien.
Jurassic Park is
back. That is a damn. Oh, can we cuss on it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, man. Oh, man. I didn't want to get in trouble over here. But yeah, Godzilla in my mind is an alien. The WB executives think it's alien, so I'm going to classify as an alien.
We all know they make very, very terrible decisions. When they're deciding on what movies to make.
Hey, Wonder Woman was good. Hey, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, everybody gets
Look
lucky,
at that Planet Apes movie.
Everybody gets lucky, but we want to make sure that we're not making the same bad decisions. And so that brings us to this portion of the show where we actually want to shout out one of our sponsors here, Houston Housewives of Finance. As you know that only 4 states in the United States offer financial education, 33% or more than 77 million Americans don't pay their bills on time. 39% of Americans carry credit card debt from month to month, and 39% of adults say they don't have enough savings. Don't become one of these statistics. Let Houston Housewives of Finance advise you on increasing your cash flow and becoming your own money manager by scheduling your complimentary personal finance strategy. Contact Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463 or email us at info@houstonhousewivesoffinance.com. Ask us how you can participate in a complimentary financial literacy workshop near you. Houston Housewives of Finance are the new faces of the new age of financial services.
Look at that. That's knowledge.
Yeah,
that's knowledge you're dropping on the people out there.
Unlike
Jay-Z conscience over here.
Unlike the knowledge you have of Godzilla thinking he's a damn
man,
alien.
come
what
on
the
now.
Hell is wrong with
I read. You asked me, what are aliens in WB?
So we should define that, though, because there was some other misstep you said about an alien before this, too.
What was the other alien?
Well, right before we started filming, I forgot what you said.
I can't remember, but
you weren't in the room for this, G.
Oh, I didn't say he was an alien. No. Don't you
I
lie.
Said,
Do not.
What I said was, holy
don't
shit,
you utter.
I'm going to introduce
utter.
him as Ziggy. He's like, oh, yeah. I'll be like, yeah, I'm the alien T2.
I slipped up and said the alien T2. But I know he's not an alien, so don't
After
take
I explained it to him.
Man,
hey,
come on, bro.
From
Earth,
come on. From the future.
What?
Just if y'all don't know who T2 is, we're talking about Terminator 2, the T-1000, the liquid one that can change and all that stuff.
Yeah. It's a robot. I mean, you can.
It's funny how these alternative facts are playing into how what actually happened in the story. He was like, I said he's not an alien. He was like, huh?
That's a lie. I didn't make that face. I didn't make that face at all. I was like, these alternative facts, and he's coming up and trying to push on me.
Now, we all know that I'm very, very honest and brutally honest. I'm not making this up. T2. Hey, come on now. Why would I lie to my fans?
That's a stretch. But the last alien I want to talk about is Superman. It's my favorite alien of recent memory.
See, now.
Come on. Don't you say you don't classify him as one now.
Oh, dude, he's from Krypton.
Okay, then.
Krypton.
Okay.
Of course he's an alien.
I was going to see what you're going to say about that.
I was going to say that for an alien, as far as alien goes, if we're going to talk about that, I actually like John Jones from The Martian Manhunter.
The Martian Manhunter.
I actually think he's a little bit better of an alien.
Because he can shape shift and all that beautiful
Read
stuff.
your mind. And
they should. I'm telling you, they should portray him as a black man on the Justice League movie if they want to bring him in.
I mean, his name is John Jones.
I know. That's why they should portray him as a black man.
Yeah, if you watch Supergirl, it's funny to me how they make all the Martians have like these like human names, but they just add like Z's to them.
Yeah, I guess
and, like, so. Make it actually, it's like they have like a French accent and then add some Z's to it.
Man, but I mean, Superman's my favorite in my because it just. I like what Zack Snyder, because he was talking about Zack Snyder. I like what the imprint he put on the new Superman and made it more relatable, more of I can understand him, because I just felt like Superman was a wuss. I was just like, man, he just sprung on everybody. He can just, let me get your cat. Like, what? I don't need my cat.
I'm glad that you point that out though about Zack Snyder and making it more relatable, because that's actually what a lot of people had problems with. They're like, oh, he's too dark and gloomy. I was like, well, shit, dude.
You saw the complex nature. Okay, so if you want to say that he was an alien when he landed on Earth, but he was raised by humans, so he has human emotions, human values, human, I guess, flaws. So I mean, he's a flawed character. It's like I don't understand how people get mad at Superman that if he kills people. He doesn't technically try to kill people, but it's just like, oh, Zod, let's go fight over here in this empty parking lot and avoid the city. And Zod's like, no, I don't want to hear you. Like, this is not Dragon Ball Z. Like, when they, you remember when they left? You meant to go fight the androids,
and they go fight in the fucking desert.
Let's go. Was Android 18 or whatever it was?
16 through 18.
Oh, jeez, there was a lot of them.
Yeah, but see, I'm the same way, because it's like, if you put yourself in Superman's shoes at that point, because anything throughout comic book history, Superman has always been unrelatable, because it's like he's perfect, like super American. I got all the powers there are. You know, you punch me into the sun, is like we saw in that YouTube video with Goku. I don't burn up like everything else in the universe. I get stronger and turn to gold and all this nonsense. But now we see with Zack Snyder is like, holy shit. How do I deal with the fact that I have a kid? Because that's what Jarvis hates, is that Superman's a father and didn't know it and then flies off. Then just think about it. If you were thrown into a high school and you didn't know anybody, and you're 17 years old and you're like, shit, I'm the only person like me here. How the fuck would you feel?
Exactly.
And feel isolated and alone.
Exactly. And
get
Zack
bitter.
Snyder, he really captured that. And people call the movie boring, but me personally, it was more of a character drama more than anything. It would flare of action, because it was an emotional piece. If you really look at it, was Batman Begins, but with Superman, in my opinion.
And I actually enjoyed the first one a lot, for sure. And especially after we're coming off that, the one that was right before that.
Oh, when he was like on ice skates and fighting Mr. Freeze? Are you talking about Batman or
Superman?
Oh,
no, I'm not talking about that.
That's the Bryan Singer movie. Why I can't
the one with the guy who plays Adam in
Oh, you talking about Brandon? What's his name?
That guy. He plays the Atom on the WB on CW. Yeah. The
only cool thing, he looked like Superman.
He does. But so does Henry Cavill.
True.
But the only good scene about that movie was when he got shot in the eye with a bullet. And that was pretty cool.
And it just went down.
Yeah.
I like it how he caught that. When he went to go put all the fires out and he saved the plane, that was interesting. But you really didn't see Superman. It's like people complain just to complain. It's just like they just want to hear
social media for you.
Hey,
it just gives people a platform to just talk shit about nothing.
Because what did they complain about in the 2006 movie of Superman? They was like, guess what? It's too boring. Superman doesn't do anything. He doesn't fight anybody. So what does Zack Snyder do? Give you more exposed Superman, a more flawed character, one that you can relate to, one that has fighting, that has killing, the thing that you complain about, and you still...
Yeah. And it's like, he's not too much, not like the comic books. And I'm like, okay. I mean, well, then you complain that it's too much like the comic books. He took some source material and made a movie about it.
Exactly.
And he tried to make it a little bit more original. I tell you, though, while we're still on Superman, seeing Nicolas Cage play Superman would have been fucking awesome.
Man, did you ever see the documentary from Schnepp? Is that his name? Schnepp? They did the documentary over.
I've seen part of it.
What if Superman lived? Or
yeah, it's called Superman Lives.
There you go. Yeah. Man, it was interesting, but I don't like. I'm not a Nicolas Cage fan.
I love Nicolas Cage, not because he's a great actor, but because he's so bad. And when he freaks out in the movies, I love that shit, man. There's like a 10-minute video montage on YouTube of him just Nick Cage freakouts. It's the best.
What is your favorite Nicolas Cage movie?
Ooh.
And don't say Ghost Rider.
No. What? It was awful.
I know kids that will say Ghost Rider.
Gone in 60 seconds, probably.
Oh, that was me personally. I like Face Off. I don't know. Why.
Oh, Face Off was.
I don't know why.
It's a good movie though.
Go back and watch it.
It's a good movie.
It's not as great.
I just watched it like a year ago. No, it's a movie from the 90s. So of course it's not that good.
Sometimes I have to tell myself that, but it's like once you're I guess your mindset's been broadened to new movies, new ways of doing things. You kind of look at them and be like, well, that was really silly, but I can see what they did. But I was like,
Yeah, it's funny because anytime I think of Nicolas Cage, I always feel like he's like a watered down version of like Keanu Reeves with anger problems.
I mean, I can see that. They do
Yeah,
have that
I always
character.
think of that. Yeah, but see, like I've gained like newfound respect for Keanu Reeves. It's, one,
Wick.
all the stuff you hear about him, because of John Wick. But then seeing that
Lot
he
of
actually
stuff.
do that shit in real life, like I
Yes,
don't know
sir.
if you've seen that montage of him like running around shooting and shit.
The new Jackie Chan. He's the new Jackie Chan for the
Oh
American
my
people.
God, dude.
He does
He's
his
a
own
beast.
stunts.
And then he's a good dude off camera. Like you hear about all this stuff with him and charities and riding the subways and all that stuff. Like I'm like, good for you, man. Good for you. I'm glad that
What about he reminds me of Blade in my opinion. I mean, Wesley Snipes. I'm not even talking about Blade. Keanu Reeves.
How?
The only reason why I say that is because they're great dudes. They're really nice, but they really sell they don't come off. They don't have the greatest acting chops, in my opinion. I don't think Wesley Snipes has the greatest acting chops, but when he plays a role and he commits to that role, I'm always sold on it. When Keanu Reeves did Speed, I was as bad as people talk about that movie. That
movie wasn't that bad.
What's that other movie came back with Patrick Swayze back in the day?
There's a few of them.
Where they were the cops. They did just a remake of it. Oh my Lord, I can't. It was like one of his first movies Keanu Reeves came out with. I cannot think of it. Well, they can look that up. He was good in that movie, and
He
then
was
also
good in
Matrix, and then you could take him. I even liked him in that Hard Knocks movie when he was a coach.
No, but he was really good in The Devil's Advocate too.
The Devil's Advocate. Or what about what's that other movie where he was the Constantine? He's pretty awesome in that movie.
Yeah, but let's get back on the subject here. 'Cause we can do a whole character profile on not about to say Nicolas Cage on Keanu Reeves. Yeah, but he's definitely earned one.
He played in the Alien movie too.
Yeah, but so over the last couple of days, we've had a lot of buzz coming up about this movie we've been raving about, and I know you guys haven't seen it yet, so I'm not going to spoil it for y'all. But Baby Driver is by far one of the best movies I have seen in a long time.
What do you think? It's one of the best movies of 2017?
I think it's one of the best movies I've seen in like the last 5 years.
Oh wow, that's high praise.
I love the movie. Like I'm like no joke. I'm probably gonna end up seeing it again in the next couple of days. But I was sitting there like really fucking excited, dude. And I know like I was going in, I was kind of worried because this dude played the brother in Divergent, and that was a weak movie overall. And
Insurgent, Divergent, Detergent. They're all pretty
Mark
terrible
over here,
movies.
he's over trying to get his freestyle career off the ground. I like
Hey
it.
man, Jay putting people on. I was woke. I was woke yesterday.
Hey, inspiring, right?
I was trying to write these bars.
Yeah, I see, man. Shit. But yeah, dude, I mean, he actually so the thing that got it from me, first off, I mean, you got an all-star cast here with John Hamm and
Kevin Spacey,
and Jamie Foxx, and then there's somebody else in here.
Lily James from what's that movie? Cinderella. She really I don't know if you've seen that movie. She was great in that movie.
Yeah, but I mean, it's crazy because for me, I was going in this thinking like, all right, I'm about to see a British gangster film, which I really like, like Shoot 'Em Up and Layer Cake and all these with American actors, and I was like I was so stoked about that. 'Cause I was like, finally, now I get to see my favorite type of movies. I get to see them like from a perspective of an American, and I can actually understand everything they say without having to pay attention too hard. But the movie is crazy, like the detail that they've paid to the film. Opening scene, there's after like their first heist and everything. Baby, that's his name, is running around dancing with his music and shit on and everything. And like if you're watching in the background, all the lyrics to the song are superimposed on different things, like the street signs, on the graffiti that's in there, on the floor, on the concrete, even in the signs that are in the windows. And I'm sitting there just like laughing, like, dang, some good detail.
Would you think this movie is a modern Americanized indie film? Like like when you watch Planet of the Apes, that's an indie type of feel, but it has a global American box office draw. Do you think this movie has a good box? Like it's going to do pretty good?
Oh, for sure, absolutely. And honestly, if I had to tell you, like as far as like the movie feels to me, it puts me in the same place I was when I first saw Kingsman. Like it's really stylized movie, and everybody's like in their role. They're playing this eccentric ass role. Like the characters are like very, very much what the character is supposed to be. Like this dude here is like he's
John Berthal. Hey, Punisher. What's going on, Punisher?
Now he doesn't have as big of a role as I would have liked to see, But he plays his role like very well. He's like a cocky asshole in here, and he's like smacking Baby around because he's trying to figure out what's going on. Calls him retarded and slow and shit all the time. And then Kevin Spacey's like this big time gangster mob boss.
How is Mr. Frank Underwood in that movie?
Oh, he's dope. Like,
is he amazing?
It's funny because when he's acting in this movie, it's almost like he's been on like the brink of laughing at his character so much. So it's kind of funny because it's like you're waiting for him to break character. You're waiting for him to break character, and he never does. Cause he says some ridiculous stuff that almost feels like it's like that he's from a different time period than they are, and like he's substantially older than all these people. But even like some of this like the slang and everything he throws out there is just kind of like, dog, how old are you in this movie?
Does it remind you of when he his character when he played when they were trying to kill their bosses? Remember that movie?
Oh, Horrible Bosses. Yes, it's like just like that guy.
Okay, that's perfect.
Dude, one of my favorite quotes for that movie is like, "You can't run a marathon without putting Band-Aids on your nipples." Like, I try to work. Yeah, I try to work that in as much as I can. Like,
how do you work that in there?
It's awkward as shit, dude. It's like trying to stick a square peg in a circle hole, dude. And it doesn't work.
Okay, well I can see it.
I always get the awkward look of like, What? Yeah, you know. Chapped nipples, dog. No one likes that.
Hey,
but
I low-key want to check out Baby Driver. With Despicable Me coming out, I really want to check out not Despicable Me, Baby Driver, because what I like is Edgar Wright finally getting to do another movie post, what happened with Ant-Man. That whole debacle that was going on. I really, from what I seen with the trailers and how I like Edgar Wright and his style, I really want to see I wonder what he would have done with Ant-Man.
Dude, I think he probably would have done. He did with this movie. Now, I was a fan of Ant-Man, but I think he would have done a really good job. But while we're on this though, I want to shout out another one of our sponsors here today. And actually, this is why you're here, because the gracious sponsors over at the Sphere. So,
yes, sir.
This portion of the show is actually sponsored by the Sphere. Are you starting your business and looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at the Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content, inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or send an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv. One of the coolest things about that I really enjoyed was that they actually took the time to like develop the characters, and like they don't just like in like Suicide Squad when they're introducing the characters, they have this whole like word vomit of this is who the person is, blah 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 blah. They stretch it out throughout the whole show. So like you see, for instance, like John Hamm's not in the movie the whole time. Like he's early on in the beginning, then comes back later on, but they develop their characters as they go, and they give you some of the backstory and some of who they are now, and you're trying to see kind of how things are going piece by piece. And honestly, like I can't give it away to you, but John Hamm's role, like in the second act of the second half of this movie, is just fucking crazy. Like you see him like flip this crazy switch, and it's just like, where the hell was that coming from?
I'm glad you said something about how they didn't do montages like how they do in a lot of those movies with Suicide Squad, the X-Men. What's that X-Men with the young kids? How they do a montage. Sometimes I want to see it's like that character building that you can do when you don't have those montages. Or what was that Captain America? They even had a montage in the first one. I wish they kind of showed him actually going through different scenarios and actually building character with who he's around and the people that he gets involved with. That's kind of why I'm starting to generate towards TV. But this movie,
because they have a longer period of time developing the characters, and it's good though because this is how they take their time with it on here. And so it's like when they're walking you through who John Hamm's character is, his name is Buddy in this, like. You see it from the beginning, and you see like he's one of the more compassionate people towards Baby, and you're trying to figure out why that is. And like he's got his chick, her name is Darling, like they're obsessed or whatever, and they have that modern day Bonnie and Clyde field, but you don't know why they're like that or how they got like that until later on in the movie. And then you got the guy from Walking Dead, I don't remember his name, who plays the Punisher.
Oh, John Bernthal.
Yeah, you don't really learn too much about him, but you get just enough of like what his character is to feel like he's like the wild card. Like, he's like reckless as shit, at least in this one. And then later on, when Jamie Foxx is introduced, his name is Bats in this one. He which is fucking stupid. And they bring up that all the time. Like, that's not his real name and all this shit. But he plays that character, and he's like supposed to be like the psycho and all this shit, right? And so they play that through because everyone always gets killed around him and all this shit, and like why that is and like what his motivation is. And it's like if you don't like remember what these characters' motivation is, then you get totally taken by surprise when they act out a certain way or they do something that you should have realized that, hey, people act the same way all the time. They're consistent in their personalities. And it's like if you take that into account and what their actions are through the movie, it becomes obvious as to what's going to happen. But if the movie does a good job of shuffling things around to where it doesn't seem like it's predictable. Like there was like one point I said something was going to happen and I was completely wrong. And I was like, nice.
It kind of gives you a feel of that old movie that Kevin Spacey played in back in the 90s. Man.
Oh, Usual Suspects.
There you go. Usual Suspects. It kind of throws you off from side to side.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sold on the movie. I want to check it out.
Dude, and that's not even the best part. The soundtrack is the best part of the whole movie.
I mean, no one really gives love to the soundtrack like they used to back in the day.
Dude, this soundtrack is awesome because it's like they really take the music, because obviously, so people who haven't really been paying attention to the trailers, the whole movie is based off that you have this guy named Baby, and he's this this mob bosses or whatever it is. They never tell you exactly what Kevin Spacey's backstory is, but he's their driver, their getaway driver. And so this isn't giving any details. You can't see in the trailer, but he has tinnitus from an accident that he had. So he's got this ringing in his ear, and so he plays this music to drown it out. But it's crazy because, I say it's like borderline obsessive with the music, is because in everything that he does, he has a soundtrack or a song that he's playing. And like there's actually a few times where it's like people get off track, and he's like, no, stop. And starts his song back over to whatever spot he wants to get at, to where he thinks the beat of life is supposed to be at that time.
A very Kingsman vibe, it sounds like,
Yeah, really.
And that's
really.
man, if you like Kingsman, that probably is a good one to check out.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. It's definitely something that you want to go see in the movies. And it's funny because at the very beginning, Edgar Wright comes on, and there's like a quick 10 or 20 second thing with him saying, thanks for coming to see this movie how it's supposed to be.
That's legit.
Yeah. If you watch this movie and you stream it and you don't go see it at the movie theater, you miss out on all the action.
The nuances.
It has to be big. Yeah, the nuances of the movie is like they're designed to be big, like
exactly.
loud. And, I mean, the car chases and like the thing about this too is like the stunts in there. They're extreme stunts, but they're realistic. There's like maybe one or two where you're kind of like, okay, whatever. But it's not like the greatest franchise ever with Fast and the Furious, where you're like, these stunts don't make any fucking sense at all.
So what you're telling people is they shouldn't be doing the Amazon Fire Stick.
Yeah, don't Cody this.
Don't Fire Stick this one.
Go see this movie. Take a date. Go buy some popcorn. Go see this movie. Like I said,
July 4th. Hey, yeah, July 4th. People should go out and see it. I'll go see it.
When I was sitting there, this is probably one of my favorite movies. Like this made my list so far. It's in my top list of movies. I don't know where yet, but it's good and it feels original.
Does it remind you of Scott Pilgrim? Like, you know how Edgar Wright did? Because I know how you said something about how the words was, and you know how Scott Pilgrim and like it kind of did like a comic book flair.
Yeah,
like you know how Edgar Wright kind of tailors.
He did Scott Pilgrim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I didn't know that. Okay,
that
makes more sense.
He tailors the movie to the audience, like when you watching like the Shaun of the Deads or those Simon Pegg movies. How he tailors those movies to like
definitely
so you can
tailored
understand.
to the crowd.
Okay, so that's cool.
He assumed, because he even talks about like when he's doing his interview, he's like, this is supposed to be just like your regular gangster movie, and like it's supposed to be loud and racy and all this stuff, and it really is like them having it being rated R was spot on, because there's like violence in there's blood, there's like all kind of shit that's in there. It's dope.
More movies should be rated R. I think we should protest in the street.
Power Rangers was rated R.
No,
man,
it's PG-13.
If it were,
oh man, if it was rated R, man, Goldar would have got cut in half.
Bro, Goldar would have actually set people on fire or something.
And you see now that the audience are demanding rated R, because the rated R films like Deadpool, Logan are making money.
Because it's appealing to the people who grew up with this stuff. Like, for instance, these movies, they try to make it for like a split audience of kids.
Transformers.
Transformers is a great example, because they have like humor, like Ludacris. They have like a joke towards Ludacris in this last one, where it was like, "Move, bitch, get out the way." Most kids who want to see Transformers aren't going to get that reference because they didn't listen to Ludacris. They didn't grow up with Ludacris like we did.
It reminds me of, if you ever seen the Revenge of the Fallen, and that thing, you remember the thing was on top of the pyramid, and John Turturro character was like, I'm under his balls. I'm just like, what? Like, you really wanna, or the humping robot, or the humping robot. I'm just like, this is a kids movie. Are you a kids movie or are you an adult movie? You know, which route are you going? So.
And that little in between that Michael Bay plays in, it's not working. But this movie is definitely, Baby Driver is definitely designed to be for the audience and people that are into these kind of gangster movies. I mean, there's great action scenes. There's good exposition when they're like talking about these characters and developing these characters. There's a little romance with him and his diner chick. He's got a pretty solid backstory, what makes you like feel and understand how this character is being, why he is the way he is. The other thing is that, and they show you, it's like a minor detail in this, but his foster dad is deaf in this movie.
Oh, really?
So it plays into the
shocking.
character. It was like he has tinnitus, he doesn't talk much, and he speaks sign language because his roommate is deaf.
Dang, he got a lot of stuff wrong with him. Man. What's wrong with this guy?
Well, he's a young child, man. He's a kid. He's a baby.
What's awesome about it is that he could have easily got typecast. The dude that plays the main guy, he could have been typecast in those certain type of roles because how Insurgent was,
or not see any more movie action.
Exactly, but it's good how you don't limit a person because if you look at a Robert Pattinson or a Zac Efron, those people or if you want to take it, you want to take those kids like Shia LaBeouf when he was in those quirky roles, but if you remove them and give them some script and some dialogue, something to actually do, something to actually say, these people do have talent. So
some of them do, but like Shia LaBeouf's a good one to bring up because he had those quirky roles early on. Even with Transformers, he was kind of quirky. But then when you see him in like Eagle Eye, and Disturbia, you can see some of his.
You knew something was popping off behind it, and he got bars.
Crazy. Yeah, no.
And he got bars on Sway.
I saw that. Yeah,
I was like, man, killed it, I didn't know hoes had bars. Even Stevens had bars.
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf.
He was woke too. Look at that, man. Look, the whole culture is waking up today.
All right. I gotta tell this story because this is a crazy ass story about Shia LaBeouf, right? And so there was some protest he was doing with a flag. It was like a demonstration because he's been like super politically active lately and all this stuff, right?
I like it.
And it was obviously a dig to the alt right and like, anybody who was like super conservative and all this stuff and whatever, right? So what he was doing was putting his flag up around the country and was saying that you sort of stay up throughout the whole Trump presidency and all that, right? But so these guys that were super conservative and like alt-right supporters and all that, whatever you want to call them, they were going around and removing this flag. So he would keep moving it, have his live stream on, and somebody would come and remove it. So this dude, Shia LaBeouf, decides that he's going to put it in the middle of these woods, right? Remote woods, all this stuff, right? These fucking dudes were so intent on removing this flag. They found the flag. It took them like 2 or 3 weeks to find it in the middle of this forest. And what they did was when he was just like live filming, they were looking at the position of the sun and the constellations and the time of the year to pinpoint
serious?
within a 20-mile radius of where this was and just scoured the forest to find this flag and took down his flag. Yeah,
Man,
I'm pretty sure he gave up after that, but I was like, what the fuck?
Man, that's dedication for you, man.
Yeah.
That's true.
On both parts. But I was like, man, that's I didn't think people could even navigate like that.
I bet
anymore.
if Shia LaBeouf was still friends with the Autobots and Indiana Jones, he would have been all right.
Yeah,
they probably wouldn't mess with him.
If he was able to channel the Crystal Skull, like maybe he would have been able to.
He should have
hide it better, right?
Just do it. Hey, he was getting found out.
Dude,
he probably sucks on Call of Duty. You think?
Man, I think he probably sucks at most things right now because he drinks too much and parties too much and crazy. Man, Shia LaBeouf for a while was going nuts.
Oh, he was going. I mean, but
like that little meme where he's like, "Just do it." I got that shit on lock on my phone.
That's how you wake up in the morning.
Oh yeah, I got the explosions and everything.
Just do it.
But this brings us to another portion of our show where we're going to shout out our sponsors here. This one is sponsored by 3 Hues. Come paint, sip, and party at 3 Hues. Join the party or book your own private event for kids and adults. Let 3 Hues help you create masterpieces on canvas step by step. A painting party is perfect for any occasion, a church function, wedding showers, team building, Girl Scouts earning their badge, date night, birthdays, or any time you just want to have fun. Ask them about their summer camp program, kids clubs, special events, and wine glass painting events. Did we mention that 3 Hues is mobile too? Yeah, you can go to the studio or they can come to you. Visit their website today at 3hueshouston.com.
You know
when you tell Shia LaBeouf to stay away from that, though, no wine for him. I want to see him back in films though. And he was in
in Fury.
Or no, he wasn't in Nympho. That was
he was in
Daniel Radcliffe.
No, he was in was it
Nymphomaniac?
Yeah,
that was him, right?
Yeah, but
I don't know why
he was also
Daniel
in Fury. He was pretty impressive in that movie.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot of. I saw a lot of like reviews, but I never actually watched the movie.
Man, you need to go watch that movie now. Like, I never. It's really legit because I never thought that
it's a war movie, right?
It's a war movie, but you feel. I don't, man. Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't pinpoint you. I sucked at history. I wasn't listening.
I know.
You will know.
I was there.
While you were paying attention, I was napping in the
taking
back.
my notes because I was a studious young man.
Hey,
like,
you know what? We both graduated.
This degenerate.
We both
here
graduated from high school.
Godzilla's a goddamn alien.
Wow, you know what? Haters gonna hate, man. America, stay woke. Look. Don't listen to Howard.
Murder.
But like I was saying. Fury is a great movie. I think you should go really check it out because it really encompasses everything that of war, what you go through, the turmoil, how it affects your brain, how you live in this cramped space with, on the tank confines and military warfare.
Dog.
It was like a more impressed Star Trek. You remember how and the only reason I say that is because, Star Trek back in the day they said that it was like tank warfare back in the movies, like fire.
Yeah.
But, you see how these people really perfect tank driving and how they can, maneuver through enemies and stuff like that with the tank. I was really impressed.
So maybe what I'll do then is watch this before seeing Dunkirk, because Dunkirk will have been with World War II. Like I'm
ready for that one, man. Christopher Nolan, man.
Bro, I think this will give me some good insight into what they had to go through to prepare themselves to be there. Because the people on Dunkirk, a lot of them were unprepared for what was going on in the first place.
Do you remember me and you saw Inception?
Yeah.
And I just remember, what was that? Inception was in 2007? Was it 7?
Some shit around
9?
there. Yeah.
One of those years. I just remember just walking out the movie, like, wow, man.
Yeah.
Are you real?
Christopher Nolan, man, he's got some hitters, dog. So I'm excited. Like Dunkirk, I don't know if you saw. So they've been doing some really interesting things with the trailers when they present them in the movies. And we went to go see Wonder Woman, and they played this trailer that just kept you on the edge of your seat the whole time, and it's just building up suspense and building up suspense and building up suspense. And right before something's about to happen, or you think something's about to happen, they cut out.
What movie?
And it's for Dunkirk.
Oh yeah, that's what he's supposed to get that suspense going. He's the master of suspense.
I've never had anything get my adrenaline going like that before for a trailer before in my life. And then last time I was watching what movie did I see before? Baby Driver. There was some movie. Yeah, when I was going to see Transformers, they split up the trailers throughout other trailers. So they'd have one trailer then Dunkirk, then one trailer then Dunkirk, and it was just like different events that were going on at the same time.
Is it with Paramount? It must be Paramount if Transformers is doing that, because I just thought, I didn't know what it was with, because Christopher Nolan usually works with WB, but man, he has a flawless record of movies.
Unlike Michael Bay or Zack Snyder or Bryan Singer.
I mean, don't knock Michael Bay. He has a few. Bryan Singer did do.
Dog, Michael Bay, literally, he's like these actors who don't say no to roles. Like he's got Armageddon, and then he's got bullshit.
The Island was good. I like The Island.
The Island was good. The Rock was good.
The Rock was good.
The Island actually, we were talking about that too. The Island is actually really fucking dope.
Actually, that movie is too good for my.
Yeah.
I look on Rotten Tomatoes, it said like a 57. I'm just like, nah, this movie's way better than a 57.
Yeah. But I mean, that shit happens though. Sometimes movies go over people's heads and shit.
Name.
But shit, I just totally lost my train of thought just now. It makes me think though. Gets me excited, some of these trailers that we're about to see, though, and we're actually going to run some of them here. But I saw Flatliners again, and they had an extended trailer for Flatliners.
Man, what is that? I haven't checked that one out.
Dog, you got to look at this trailer. It's not on this week, though. But
okay,
we're going to start off with our first trailer, though, for The Foreigner. I actually haven't seen this trailer yet.
What? You haven't seen Jackie Chan?
I'm lying. No,
I was about to say, you tagged me in that one.
Yeah, I did. My bad.
I was about to say, whoa.
Yeah. Dog, so this is what got me pumped.
Casino Royale.
Yeah, man. So he's gotten old.
Man, he's Jackie Chan, but he still got it going on.
Wait, was that Pierce Brosnan?
Yeah, man. The 007,
now,
Mr.
This brings a very interesting point to me. That's a role that he should have played. He shouldn't have played James Bond. He should have played Q or M.
Oh, that is pretty. Martin Campbell should have. Well, Martin Campbell probably brought him back because Martin Campbell directed GoldenEye.
I'm just saying he should have never been James Bond.
He was a good GoldenEye. You
Whole
cannot tell.
Different conversation.
Howard. GoldenEye. That movie.
He got beat up by.
We know, but for the time, you know what? Everybody, he gets the bad rep. Before the time of the 90s, he fit the role of what they wanted James Bond to be, because he would say some corny lines, but they low-key be really player. He was saying some really player stuff. But you know what? It's all good because you may not like that. I like Casino Royale.
Who's your favorite James Bond? You look like you about to take a shit on yourself.
Oh, no, I'm not, man. what? Well, it's a hard. They all bring different flares, so it's kind of hard for me to pick. But Sean Connery, I would have to go with Sean Connery. And the only reason why I go with Sean Connery is because
I'm okay with that.
Daniel Craig, with Casino Royale, I thought he made the best Bond movie to me because Casino Royale is
and Skyfall.
I do not like Skyfall. Wow, man.
What?
Man.
That's like literally ranked as being the best James Bond movie.
I'm going to tell you why. Because it was a homage. It was basically a homage to everything that James Bond was, but in Casino Royale, it set the course of we're not gonna go James Bond with super gadgets or saying
Casino Royale. You know, it's a remake, right?
But I know it's a remake of a TV movie of the Casino Royale. No, it was Casino Royale,
parody one.
But I know, but that's what I'm saying is it added the grit to the franchise that with. You had the Bourne movies, you had the Mission Impossible movies, you had to compete. James Bond had to reinvent itself, and with Casino Royale, it became more real, more grit, more. You understood the character of James Bond, but
they also put more to what James Bond was supposed to be from the actual source material. What Ian Fleming wanted. Was that he was supposed to be like that.
Yes.
Like Pierce Brosnan, I would never see take a punch. I always come back to this. Pierce Brosnan would not take a punch.
But Skyfall did what? Skyfall discredited all this. You had like him hopping in this random car in the alley, and this overcentric villain, like he was just doing the most. Like, come on, he takes out the mouth and he's like, rah, 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 rah.
But that was part of the character development, though, because the whole thing was that he was trying to break MI6 from the inside because he was a disbanded agent who got forgot about and was like, hey, listen, all this shit that you guys had in place is not good. It's bad. I'm going to destroy y'all because y'all left me for dead.
Oh, yeah, let's go to this James Bond's old house and, let's go shoot it up and let's have this gunpowder showdown at the end.
True. But so let me going back to the trailer though, because
I'm sorry, we did go on a tangent.
So yeah, this tends to happen with us. But so I'm really excited to see Jackie Chan coming back to film because he was supposed to be retired, man.
Yeah, he did say retire after that kung fu movie. Well, not kung fu movie, but what's the movie with Karate Kid? I'm sorry. Yeah,
which was
I mean, I enjoyed it, man. Howard, you really
what?
You really are getting on movies, but you have to enjoy. You got to enjoy sometimes.
What are your thoughts? So, what do you think about this then? Let me get you.
This movie looks perfect in my opinion because I like Martin Campbell. I like what he's did with Casino Royale. I like the flavor that he's been. I like that Jackie Chan is not just playing a caricature of himself. He's not just the kung fu dude. He seems like he has raw emotion in some of these scenes. Like, look at that. He has raw emotion. And it's always good to see Pierce Brosnan. He's very smooth.
So, yeah, well.
I mean,
anyway, here's what I really like about this, all right? So there's a couple things. One, it reminds me of, it's kind of like Jackie Chan is playing this role between Jason Bourne and like the dude from Taken. I kind of can see that just as far as like the action scenes and everything. And even though he's older, I like that it still is like he's still doing his own stunts. And it's not like cut scenes where it's like, like in Taken where you'll see
the quick
you'll see like
camera angles.
He's about to go and jump over a fence and he's like in front of the fence and next thing you know he's running over the fence instead of like seeing him actually climb up and scale over and jump over. So I was like that looks like he's gonna have some pretty decent action, and then the stunts seem pretty believable, like him covering himself up with the leaves in the forest. And oh shit, that was cool.
What's impressive is Jackie Chan is 60 and he can still do some of this stuff. But you don't lose it. You don't lose your flair because a lot of these people still got to go on like Jason Statham. They getting up there in age.
They're nowhere near the same age.
No,
though.
I'm talking about. I'm if you listen,
fucking Marcus.
I'm saying these people like Jean-Claude Van Damme and Sylvester Stallone. These people are these older people that we brought up in the action genre, same as Wesley Snipes. They can still play their roles and still act out all they stuff, just like how Keanu Reeves did back with John Wick. He can do all his stunts. He don't need.
Well, that was actually surprising because that was like the most action I've ever seen that dude do. Like, even in the Matrix, he was kind of like Gumby in there. So it was
that's true. But you don't need. I mean, I believed it in Matrix, but I mean, I guess that's how the good camera angles did. But I want to see this movie.
In the second one, when he had that dog pile, they had a bowling pin sound.
Man, let's not even talk about that movie. That movie is the worst. I forgot. Look, I low-key forgot that movie even happened until you just brought it back up.
No, I can't forget that happened because when that bowling pin sound went off, I dropped all my popcorn. I was like, what the hell was that? Like, I thought I had imagined that thing until I watched it over and bought the movie. I was like,
what's funny is the MTV parody of that movie. It's better than the actual movie.
Wet Willie, Mr. Anderson.
But I mean, I like Martin Campbell coming back after the Green Lantern. We're not going to talk about that movie and what he did with that, but it's good that another studio wanted to give him a chance because he is a great film director in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, before we cut out of here because we'll get into that time of the show. What are some of the things that you're watching up that you got on your radar coming up this week?
What to watch?
Yeah, TV shows, movie. What are you gonna be on the lookout for this month?
Queen Sugar, Game of Thrones, Insecure.
Oh, shit, yeah.
I like being Mary Jane. You know, I'm a family man, so I have to enjoy some of these shows. Some of these shows are a stretch, but Game of Thrones is the one I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Planet of the Apes. Hey, I'm looking forward to Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, and Spider-Man, right? Not too much.
I mean, it looks good, but I'm just tired of Spider-Man. Honestly, miss me with Spider-Man.
So, you know, you got your all your social media handles right there. Let's flash back to that.
Yes,
you guys
sir.
need, for all our sports fans out there, you guys need to check him out over there at Fishing Grits with him and DeMarcus Broden, another high school buddy of mine.
Yes, sir. And we try to bring
Shameless
sports
plug.
knowledge.
Hell
You know, it's sports knowledge to sports people.
Yeah. If they debate each other, you know, because Marcus.
No, we're
over
not
here-
Stephen A. and Max Kellerman or
hope not.
Skip Bayless. We're not animated. We just keep it real and just casual people having casual conversation.
I like that. I like
Conversation.
So, and then of course you guys can always find me at Howard_Jerome on Instagram and Howard Jerome on Facebook. But we also like you guys to go over. You know, you like the content we have here in the debates and conversations that we have. Go over to the Sphere.tv and subscribe to us and find us on Instagram. Find us on Facebook, on Stitcher, on all the other platforms. We're on iTunes and Amazon. Go through and review us on iTunes too, so that way we can get some constructive feedback. Hear what you guys actually want us to talk about, whether it's suggestions, some ideas for guests, so you guys can see we like to interact with our fans and everything. Mark's has been following the show since day one, always on Facebook Live, you know, chiming in, even if he's saying some dumb shit like Godzilla's from an alien. I ain't letting that one go.
You know what? I'm ignoring.
I'm sorry.
I'm ignoring Howard because he's not being a good host.
Like I told y'all. Just because you're a fan doesn't mean I'm going to let you get away with some bullshit, all right? And that was some bullshit. But
it wasn't.
I got love for this dude. Oh, boy, since day one. So.
I really enjoy y'all show. I like what y'all bring. I like that y'all discuss movie topics. There's not a lot of people of the African American skin that talk about or have passion for, you know, entertainment, and it's good that y'all use your platform to educate people.
Yeah, that's what we try to do here. And for the rest of our fans that are out there watching, you know, be like Marcus. Share the videos when you see them on Facebook Live. Go over there and check out some of the other shows that we got there with That Boom Bap, Three Hues. We've got a whole slew of things with Technocrats, a la carte, All Things Beauty, G's for Gents, Injustice, get you some news on there and everything. Just go through and there's always a show and episode for everybody that's out there.
I love that Boom Bap one.
Yeah.
They have some good content over there.
Especially because what's coming up next is that review for that Jay-Z album. So I know a bunch of you guys are out there talking about that.
Fire.
So the other thing is that, you know, don't be a passive watcher. You know, we're everybody's out here trying to get that bread, and we're trying to make this show better for you guys and keep you guys entertained. So go through on the Sphere.tv and become a Patreon of ours. Go through and donate. You can do either first time donations and do it a one time, you know, single off. We know everybody's finances aren't that great just yet, but if they're not, that's when you holler up the Houston Housewives of Finance and they'll get you right. And then if you want to be a monthly subscriber, if that's something that you guys are interested in doing, go ahead and hop on donate it on Patreon and become an ongoing donator for us and help us keep this show alive. Also, you get yourself a free mug, maybe. Probably not, but so
Bring back. No.
But other than that, man, you got any final words for our guests and fans out there?
No, man. I just, like I said, I really enjoy and appreciate y'all bringing me in and let me talk a little bit about what I love to do and share it with y'all. And check out Baby Driver.
Yeah, definitely go see that movie, and then join us again in another episode of Intermission. You guys stay good.
Take it easy.